Hey guys, it's Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, and in today's video, I'm gonna show you guys what's on my desk in the office for 2022, as in what tech like IP phones, headsets, and more I'm using in there. Now, for those of you who may or may not remember, we actually did a video, what's on my desk in 2021, and up until then, or since I did that video, I've actually moved not only into a new house, but I have a new office, but I've also changed some of the tech that's on my desk now in 2022 in comparison to what I had in 2021 before and even after I moved. Just to give you guys a quick recap, I think in the previous video for my headset, I believe I was using the Lightner LH270. And I think at some point before I moved, or even a little bit after I moved, between the last video and now, I was actually using Lightner's newer LH375. For my IP phone, I think I was using the Yealink T54W, and I think I was switching off between the Yealink T54W and the Poly CCX600, and also the Yealink T48S, which is an older phone, but it's still one of their better and original touchscreen phones. And I think for the camera, I was using the Logitech C920. So let's take a stroll over to my office and I'll show you guys what I'm using in our new office for 2022. All right, so here's my office all the way over here at the very end of the house. And here's my desk. It's a small office, and I actually had it built this way because, as you guys already know, I have a studio, so I don't really do much recording in here, except for sometimes. But let me show you a little bit around the office and what tech I've got going on. Okay, so on my desk, from left to right, I am using the new Yealink T58W Pro with webcam. I'm actually using here the Poly P5, which actually you can get it by itself or it comes with the Poly Work From Home kit. And then last but not least, I am using the famed Yealink WH66, which is a headset and a base. So let's start with the T58W Pro, why I'm using it and why I switched it up and what I switched from. So oftentimes when I decide to switch out a phone or use something in the office, it's for two reasons. A, because I want to use it and test it out so that I can give it a proper review, and also learn the pros and cons about it so that when clients that I consult with, that Sunita and I consult with, say, hey, is this piece of hardware good or bad? We can give our honest opinion, not only based on reviews and what we've heard from other customers, but actual usage internally here at Rich Technology Group. So I'm not only using this phone because this is one of Yealink's newest phones, but because it's one of the few phones that I've seen that has a wireless handset, but it also has a built-in webcam. So when I saw this, I was like, I totally have to use it. It is a touchscreen, as you can see here, and it actually has a built-in camera that you can get with it, as well as a privacy shutter built in, which is kind of cool. Now, before I switched this phone, I was using the T54W, as I mentioned to you guys, and then I kind of downgraded to a T48S, which, even though it's kind of a downgrade to the T54W, it's a touchscreen. So I was using that, and then this phone came out and I totally switched up. And I really like it so far. And strangely enough, I was able to get it working with our provider, which internally, for those of you who are wondering, we use Vonage internally here at Rich Technology Group. Even though it isn't officially on their 100% supported list, I was able to get somebody over there to provision it, and I've had no issues with it. Moving over to my webcam, I can't say enough good things about this. So this is the Poly P5, which is an HD webcam that is 1080p. It's got a really good field of view on it. It has a built-in privacy shutter, check this out, and it snaps and the little light changes. You hear that little click? So it's red when it's off, white light LED when it's on. It did come with a clip that allows you to hook it to the lid of a laptop, but I don't use that because it had a magnetic mount. The clip just magnetically, with a little bit of force, comes off the bottom, and it has an actual mount on it, as you can see here. And I've actually got it mounted to this tripod, which is obviously not included with this camera. But for the better part of fourth quarter 2021 and so far in 2022, I have been using this camera for primarily all of my meetings. My meetings with internal staff like Sunita and my team, and even my virtual meetings with customers and with the vendors like Vonage and Zoom and Nextiva and RingCentral and all those guys. And I can honestly say it is the best webcam that I have used to date, without question. It's got great auto correction lighting capability, and it just has a really nice crisp picture. And I would even go so far as using it for our like interviews with C-level executives for the channel and things like that. I really like this webcam. Last but not least, on my desk, I am using the famed Yealink WH66. I actually really like this headset, and I've actually used this headset with other phones other than just the Yealink phones. Now, currently, I do have this thing working with the T58W. It took a little finagling to get it to work right, but I've actually got this thing connected to the T58W. If I hit this headset button here and put those headphones on and start typing, it'll actually just automatically work. But the reason I like it is because when you take the headsets off your head and you sit it on this hook, this magnetic charging hook, it will automatically start playing the sound out of the speaker on this thing. And it also does that with the laptop. So if I'm listening to something like, say, YouTube or a video or even a virtual meeting that's connected to my laptop, and I actually take the headset off my head and then put it back on this magnetic hook, it actually starts playing the sound out of this speaker. And the speaker is actually really decent. So that's actually one thing that's really nice. And it is a 3-in-1. So I literally do have it connected to the T58W Pro with webcam and to my laptop, and it's got its own speaker built in. Last but not least, because I'm sure some of you saw my cell phone sitting here, this is actually a Galaxy M12. I don't use this for recording or studio recording. For studio recording, which is what I'm using right now, I use a Galaxy S20 Plus, which is too expensive to be carrying around as a cell phone, but this is just a semi-cheaper Galaxy phone. But the reason I wanted to show this to you guys is because what I'm using this phone for is our Vonage app. So as I mentioned, we use Vonage internally, and this is actually the Vonage mobile app. So I use the Vonage mobile app here to be able to do calls, you know, send text back and forth to people and talk to my staff and whatnot when I'm on the go. One more thing that I actually forgot to show you guys that's in this office that's tech. It's not exactly a phone or anything, but it is a notable mention since it was sent by one of our loyal phone providers that we work with. This LED that you see here that's sitting in front of my desk, I believe it's called like an Elgato cam light or something like that. And what it is a high-powered LED that I use just to put a little bit more light on my face or in the room when I do virtual meetings and stuff like that. I don't use it all the time because, as you guys can see, I've got some really big windows here in the office, but a lot of times if there's too much sun outside and I need to close these blinds and I need more artificial light than what I've got in the ceiling, I'll use this. But this was actually sent to me almost a year ago when I mentioned to Nextiva that I was building a studio. They were like, well, we want to help you out. Can we send over some things? And they sent over this Elgato key light, and they also sent over like a couple of tripods or whatever that you see here to be able to stand it on. So this has actually been a really useful gift that they sent over. So big thank you to Nextiva for your love and support in sending that over. So that sums up what tech is on my desk in 2022 here at Rich Technology Group. For those of you who are using voice over IP or, you know, using some of the newer hardware out there, are you using anything that's on my desk that I showed you in today's video? Or what are you using? I'm just curious to know. Or what do you think about what I'm using? Or if any of you have any questions about any of the hardware that I'm using on my desk, hit me up in the comments below. All questions are welcome. Thanks for watching this video. As always, this is Prince Rich, your go-to guy for the best deals on business phone and internet service in the United States. I'll catch you guys again in the next video.